Debate now over. Joining us now with reaction and insight is Wake Forest University political science professor John Dinan.
John, we thank you so much for being with us tonight. And we want to start with the familiarity that surrounds this election. You have a former president, you have a sitting president, and you have a general public that knows them both quite well. So what was important in this debate?
Given that familiarity, the public was not coming in expecting to get new issue positions on issues like Social Security, on education. This was a visual affair. People were tuning in to see whether or not Trump was behaving in his temperament, was looking presidential. They were looking to see whether Biden had the energy and stamina. That's what folks were focusing on, and that's what's going to be the takeaway message from this debate.
And this brings us to our next question almost. Do you think performance here, the no handshakes at the beginning, the flubs, the name calling, do you think that performance at times outweighed their message?
The messages really aren't the dominant takeaway from tonight in that sense. It is true that each candidate wanted to go various places with their message. Every chance he got, President Trump would take the answers to the border, immigration. Every chance he got, President Biden would take the discussion, get out his message about Trump and January 6th. So they did have messages to get across, but that's not what the viewers were focusing on. They were focusing on what they saw rather than so much what they heard.
John, mental fitness front and center in this election cycle, 78, 81. Are they capable? How did they do?
So the Biden camp came in hoping that he would get a jolt from this affair. They were hoping that he would show energy and stamina of the kind that he showed very well in his State of the Union address this spring. He did not show that stamina and energy to the same extent tonight as he showed so well in the State of the Union address. That's going to be a source of concern among some of the Biden camp. The Trump camp was watching to see whether their candidate would behave better. 4 years ago, he had an awful first debate, Trump did. He was interrupting, he didn't do well. His camp was watching, did he stay in his lanes better? They're going to feel a little bit better about Trump staying within his lanes. There's going to be some concern in the Biden camp about whether or not his energy and stamina came through as much as it should have on screen tonight.
John Dinan, we thank you so much as always for your insight.
Thank you, John.